Okay, so talking builds, I hit level 50 and I beat the main game. Got platinum, so I'm just going to go through the build here of what we're using. So I'm using Flak as my main character. These would be the skills we're going to start with, and I'm using the crit build of Flak. So here's how you do that. You start with the green skill here, and the action skill we're building around is called Fade Away right here. When you cloak, when you pop this L1 and you hit this Flak, you go into a cloak bit, and every shot you shoot hits a crit spot during this. So Fade Away crit damage automatically goes up 200%, get health gen, you get cooldown, and your movement speed is increased. Now we're going to modify that with some of these augment skills, which this first one is no longer ends after the 3 attacks, stays at the cost of your crit damage going reduced. But this is huge. This is required because this keeps you in the Fade Away for a longer period of time, other than just getting your 3 shots off. Now you can hold down and shoot for a long period of time. It goes for 8 seconds, extends to 8 seconds, but we can modify it even more. And the second augment we're going to be using here is Unblinking Eye, which successive hits on the same target increase the damage, crit damage, for every 3 hits. Again, goes up 75%, and you're just going to be shooting this laser beam of fire on one boss or one guy, so this is hugely required. Now I'm using the pet. I'm using the Gunslinger Jabber here, again, because it just ups your critical hit damage by 5%. And now we're going into individual skills. You get to start here with the Furious Attack. This is a hunter skill. So this stacks and increases your gun damage. I mean, it goes up 2% per stack, and you get 10 stacks, so that's 20% gun damage basically right there. You don't want any of these other ones. They're not really helpful. The second one, we're going to go again with this Eager to Impress. It just increases your cooldown time. This one, just try to get your skill, get your Fade Away action skill as much as you can. You just want to increase the cooldown time. The other one we do is Overclocked. This one increases your fire rate. This is huge again, because more bullets you fire, more damage you do. So 10%. I put my last one in here into Lick the Wounds, which is just a passive ability, allows your pet to revive you or other players. It's very helpful. Turn tail and run is another one we need. Both to get more length, but also this one gives you more gun damage. Now the difference here is gun damage is while standing still, but it's plus 25%, and fire rate while standing still is plus 12%. When you go invisible using the skill, you can stand still, people won't see you. You stand still and you shoot a laser beam, and you're getting huge fire rate and gun damage bonuses with this, 25 and 12% respectively. And the last one in this first green block would be this one, the Fast and the Furious, and that just again increases your gun damage by another 25%. So that's it for this block. In the second block, all we're going to be using here is Persistent Thunder, which again adds another 12% gun damage, and adds 45% to your action skill duration, which again is huge. So all you want to do is keep your action skill as much possible. Now you see one here, but I'm not really using this. This is because my augment will show later. The last tree here is filled out quite well. Start here with an Interplanetary Stalker. This is again a passive ability that you build up bonuses and stacks depending on who you kill, robots, humans, or beast. And this goes against with bosses and with another piece I'll show you later. But basically you get 10% damage bonus per stack, and you get a robot bonus of corrosive damage, human bonus of 15% action skill damage. So that's really big when you're in action skill, 15% human bonus, and 7% bonus for killing beast. Now this is again another passive ability, hunter skill for certain types of enemies. Now this doesn't affect on bosses unless you have the right augment, so I'll have to show you that later. But again, critical damage plus 21% for humans, armor damage plus 42% for robots, and damage reduction 28% for beasts. That's significant. I've got 2 modded on there. That's actually helpful. The other one here you want to full stack in is head count. So whenever he gets a critical hit, there's a chance for action skills reduced. And again, we just want to get that action skills back as quick as we can. So just reduces it by 2 seconds every time you get a crit hit. This one maxed out. It's only a 3 of 5 right now, but it's good to put points in there. It gives you a chance to get an extra projectile for every shot you get. Depending on the weapons you're using, I'm not really using that. We probably might put that in something else, but it's very helpful to get down here. Again, this is a hunter skill. This is passive ability. You want to max this out. This extends your duration in when you go invisible. Hunter skill duration is plus 100%, and the effects plus 30%. This maxes everything out. This busts on top of it, keeps it going a lot longer. The other one here I have is this, which is the most dangerous game. This is whenever you kill a badass or stronger enemy, they you get increased crit damage, gun damage, and handling for a long time. So it's 120 seconds. So it's 2 minutes. So 2 minutes every time after you kill a badass or above, you get 42% increased gun damage, 16.7 crit hit damage, handling 45%. And I've got a couple mods in there to boost even 2 more for my class mod. This is again huge. So if you're fighting a boss, you kill a badass before you start your crit damage on a boss, you're going to boost it even higher, boost your base damage even higher. And this one again, increased crit damage, enemies are less likely to attack them. So that's it. That's another crit damage plus 15%, and that's all your skills and all your augments for that. I'm going to go into your specific weapons we're using here. I'm going to start at the bottom here. So this is the artifact I'm using right now, Elute expanding auto idle, and get 18% of health after you kill an enemy, which is good. But 40% magazine size just is really good. Weapon reload speed and 21% action cooldown rate. That's again very helpful. You also get bonuses on picking up cash ammo and health. This is a very god tier artifact. Reduces your skill size, expands your magazine size and shoot longer, and increases your weapon reload speed. Now here's the class specific Beastmaster mod I'm using that really makes it a boss killer. Now this one's a giant slayer bounty hunter, but the important thing here is that description. So the flak has 3% chance to activate any purchase hunt skill dealing gun damage. That's not as big, but bosses are now treated as humans, beasts, and robots for flats hunt skills. That is big. So now, before the bosses were not getting those bonuses that we saw here with both this, this bonus here, which is increased crit hit damage in robots, and I believe it's this one here too. Damage bonus stack plus 10% per stack. So you can stack them up to 3 times, and it decays over a short time. But these 2 bonuses now count for bosses, thanks to this class mod, and that's where I also get my bonus points on there. The incendiary resistance is not really that good. Grenade damage is okay, and then shield capacity is fine. Shield I'm using is the transformer, and the reason I'm using this, a 40% chance to absorb bullets is not very good, and adds them to your ammo count. Again, just lets you keep shooting. You're 100% shock resistant, and converts anything you take in that into your shields. It's good recharge rate, good all around. Using the diamond butt bomb as my grenade. It's fun, it's good to use, it throws all over. And here's where my guns come in. So Lucian's Call, when you go in to your mode, any crit hits, everything you shoot is going to be a crit. And this gun has that bonus: critical hits return 2 bullets to your magazine and ricochet 2 bullets to the nearest enemy. So when you're in your invisible mode and everything you shoot is a crit, if you're just shooting the boss, you're never running out of bullets. The bullets are coming back to your magazine, and the bullets are now ricocheting all around the map to all the two more enemies. This is a augmented. This one's anointed gun, so I even get the action skill on there. They get bonus Cairo damage on the next 2 magazines, which is even better. This gun is pretty much god tier with that weapon we have. I have 2 of them. This one does flesh damage. This one's not anointed, but it is fire damage. In case we're fighting, depending on what boss we're fighting, I can switch between the fire and the corrosive damage here, and they both do the same thing. They both have that critical hits, return 2 bullets to your magazine, ricochet, so you can hold down the shoot button the whole time. The other one I have is this Infinity. Now this is a level 49, it's not 50, but it is anointed. And this one, in case you're not familiar with the Infinity weapon, you never reload and never run out of bullets on it. You just keep holding fire down. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but for some of these harder in-game items, you can just run around and hold down and shoot the whole time on it and be doing damage without worrying about running out bullets or reloading. You can use that in your action skill as well, because you never have to reload. What you want to do is make sure you never reload and always putting out damage when you're in your fadeaway. The other gun right here I have is Venomous Hornet, just for something different to have. There's obviously I have other weapons to use, but this is really it for that build. Badass points, or what they're calling them now, bonus points. This is what I have right now. I'm just trying to up my crit hit damage as much as I can. Gunfire rate and gun damage are good. Put some into luck and max health and shield capacity, but the tokens are broken right now, so I'm saving up to try to do this one as well. And that's my build in a nutshell. You build with these skills, and I'll put some videos after this to show how much damage you can do. Oh, that T-Rex has just got melted. Golden special. Oh my god. The crit bounce thing is just fucking ridiculous.